standard Muslim objection. Now, we all need to be prepared for this. And I don't have it queued up right now. I'm just going off what I listened to this morning. All of us need to be ready for this because it is a standard Muslim objection. And that is, well, but Jesus said in Matthew chapter 10, I'm only sent to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Now, everyone listening to this program, how many times over the past 10 years in listening to Muslim after Muslim after Muslim, have we just sat back and said, well, wait a minute. Wait. How can you honestly and fairly quote Matthew chapter 10 and come to the conclusion that it was Matthew's intention to actually communicate to you the idea that from Matthew's viewpoint, Jesus was only the Messiah for the Jews? Given that, not only are there all sorts of other indications in the same sections of Matthew about the gospel going to the Gentiles, but the end of the book specifically has Jesus sending his disciples into all the world. It is dishonest if you know that Matthew 28's there. Now, I understand that there are some Muslims that will, they'll read something in the net and go, and I heard there's some question about the originality of the end of Matthew. Now, none of them ever check it out. There is no doubt about the originality of the end of Matthew. There is, I might as well just simply say, well, there is doubt about the originality of Surah 112, Surah Al-Ikhlas. We don't know that Muhammad ever actually quoted that. I mean, it's just really easy to make up this stuff and just go to the skeptical thing and say, well, we don't have a video of him actually giving it originally. I mean, you can go into hyper-skepticism all you want, but the fact of the matter is, there is not a shred of anything but pure theory based upon theological speculation about Matthew 28 not being a part of the original Gospel of Matthew. Nothing. It's pure speculation intended to defend whatever heresy someone doesn't like what's in Matthew 28 to talk about. So here's Yusuf. Now, Yusuf is not an ignorant Muslim. I mean, most Christians are ignorant about Islam, and most Muslims are ignorant about Christianity. Okay? That's just a fact. Our communities don't do real well in talking to one another, and let me make a simple statement here that Yahya Snow undoubtedly will rip out of context and turn into a video, because that's what he does. That's all he does. I don't, off the top of my head, I can't remember a time when Yahya has actually made one of these videos that was actually dealing with the substance of what I was saying. That's a commentary in and of itself. But anyway, when I listen to debates, I'm going to play a section of a debate that took place in Melbourne. Great debate. Appreciate the attitude of both the men that participated in it. But I'm making an observation here. It seems to me that your best Christian debaters show significantly more concern about having in-depth and accurate knowledge of Islam than your best Muslim debaters show of having an accurate and in-depth knowledge of Christianity. I stand by that as an observation. And I think it's absolutely true. It's absolutely true. I think we'll see that, like I said, in this debate here in a moment. Anyway, Yusuf Ismail is not an ignorant Muslim. He's not your standard Muslim. He engages in dawah. This is what he does. He reads lots and lots of books. He communicates with Shabir Ali, and they share a lot of stuff together and all the rest of this kind of stuff. So how many times has Yusuf Ismail been corrected in this abusive misrepresentation of the New Testament, and specifically the Gospel of Matthew. Over and over and over again. So, how on earth can you keep repeating the same thing over and over again? And when Michael heard it, see, Michael doesn't have that background with Yusuf. When Michael heard it, he's like, I'm pretty shocked you'd say something like that. Because every Muslim needs to understand the chronological order in which things are found in the Quran, because of abrogation and stuff like that. So why wouldn't you notice that Matthew 10 is about one particular period of time during the ministry of Jesus, but it's not the entirety of the ministry of Jesus. And after that time period, in light of events in the ministry of Christ, Jesus sends his disciples to all the nations. So Michael goes, inconsistency, double standard, hypocrisy. And he's right. He's smack dab right. And we have pointed this out over and over and over and over and over again to the Muslim who doesn't engage with Christians. We simply have to be ready to point it out again and be patient in the process, because we cannot know whether they have or have not ever truly had knowledge given to them of this issue. But that's not the case with Yusuf Ismail. He well knows. He well knows that that is an abuse of the text, and he just keeps doing it over and over again. What do you do with someone who will not be corrected? No matter how clear the refutation, no matter how overwhelming the documentation, just keep saying it again and again and again and again. What do you do? And when Michael dismantled his argument, and he did, I mean, it was a thorough, logical, complete refutation. There was no recovering from it. I'm sitting there going, I wonder what the response is going to be. How's Yusuf going to bail himself out of this one? It was a standard Ismail move. Go back to a different topic. Go back to Isaiah 42. Just completely abandon any defense of what you just said. Just let it slide. And here's the problem. He'll do it again with somebody else, somebody he thinks he can